Hey there, Leo, and welcome to your March 2020 Creativity Tarot reading. My name is Kayleigh Jean, and welcome to my channel. I record these readings for artists, entrepreneurs, and anybody who's working on their self-expression, personal growth, or spirituality in any way. So if those areas of life are intriguing to you, I encourage you to go ahead and keep watching. You can use these readings for your sun, moon, or your rising sign. It's also possible if sometimes they don't resonate at first. So if that's the case, I encourage you to come back and watch this video at the end of March, because it's likely that you will start to see a lot of connections between the energies in the cards and in the meditation messages and your life. So I'm really curious to hear that if you want to share in the comments. Okay, Leo, I want to get into your meditation messages. I had a couple of things coming through for you. The very first thing that I saw when I tuned in for you was actually a little sheep, but it was dark in color. So then it kind of made me laugh because I realized, like, oh, black sheep. Sometimes the messages that I get are so kind of symbolic and metaphorical that it's easy to overlook just the very kind of phrase-based or sort of most popular usage of like words that would be attached to the symbolism. So you may be feeling a little bit this month in March like a bit of a black sheep. This could be at work, this could be at home. You might just be feeling like the odd one out, or the one that just is doing something different from the rest of the family. And if that's the case, I want you to just embrace that and kind of go with whatever your instinct is about what you want to create or what you want to work on, or kind of like what you're doing. So that's the first message. I also feel like for some of you, whether this is like a family situation where you're feeling this, or a friend situation, or anything in your personal life or in your professional life as well, I was getting this impression of almost somebody kind of walking away from a group. But it feels temporary. So some of you Leos out there could be temporarily maybe going somewhere, which means that you leave behind the people that you normally live with or the people that you normally work with, or you could be going on a work trip, you could be going on a vacation, or doing something that takes you out of your normal surroundings, but specifically away from the normal, like usual people that you interact with. So that was something that was coming through just intuitively, that it feels to me like not only are you maybe feeling particularly eccentric or different from the people around you, but you may also actually be physically not with the people that you're normally with this month for some reason or another. And that may be for a short time, or it could be for a longer time, but it does feel very temporary to me. So maybe there's some kind of specific reason for that. But the second real part of the intuitive messages for you is actually that I just felt an incredible amount of inspiration coming through for you, Leo. So March is definitely a month to embrace that. I think that you're going to get some amazing ideas, and you're going to have a lot of creative energy for whatever it is that that's coming to you as something that you feel inspired to put energy and time into, okay? So that's going to be a really valuable way to use your energy, especially if for any reason you find that you have some more alone time, or you find that you are getting out of your normal circumstances or out of your usual kind of environment. This could be a really good way to sort of almost change your thinking in certain ways. I think that this could be a time that is very liberating for you on a lot of levels. So I almost see some of you kind of, traveling for work, or in some way becoming more involved with something that's different. It's like a new path that's opening up for you. And this could be starting in March, or it could be something that you're kind of hearing the rumblings or feeling the stirrings of in March, and then it kind of really comes into full focus in April. But we'll look at your cards and get some additional insights. Leo. Okay. And we're also going to get some messages from your Animal Spirit Oracle cards, as always. And we're also going to get you a Bob Ross message, because why not? Leo, Leo, Leo. Okay, beautiful. So let's take a look at your Animal Spirit Oracle cards. So we've got Hummingbird, crossed by the Owl. Wow. I love this reading already. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. So first of all, both of these creatures are incredibly lucky. They both have this sense of being in the right place at the right time, being able to take advantage, I want to say, Leo, of divine energy. And again, with the Hummingbird, this is so freaking sweet to have coming up as your path card, given that one of your meditation messages was inspiration and feeling that sense of a spark when a new idea hits you, or you feel this passion for something that's just like, it's this new pathway opening up for you in your life, where you're able to channel your energy in a way that feels very authentic. It feels very exciting. It feels like it's leading you forward. It feels like it's an increase in the energy, like the overall joyful energy of your life. And so this card also carries this message of like, tend to this, right? Because the hummingbird is a creature that has such an incredibly fast metabolism. It always has to be feeding. It has to constantly be drinking from the blossoms, and it needs to constantly be kind of filling itself up, because it's so small, but its body just runs at such a rapid metabolic rate that it has to basically constantly be eating. So the metaphor for this is really for you, Leo. It's your energy, it's your passion, it's your excitement, it's your joy. This is a month in March to really embrace joy and to really prioritize joy. Not only just for the joy of the moment, because absolutely it is for the joy of the moment, but also with the owl card, it's also genuinely because the things that bring you joy this month are possibly in somewhat mysterious ways moving you forward along a very exciting path in your life. And it for some of you may not be totally clear yet. We do still have in March quite a lot of energy in Pisces, obviously, for the first 3 weeks, and also Mercury will still be in Pisces into April. So there's a lot of that kind of dreamy, creative energy that we can get from that sign. And I feel like some of this is going to feel mysterious, but it's important that you trust it. When I look at this spread, I actually get this feeling almost like, I don't know if you guys can relate, because I've always sort of been in my actual, like, you know, personal life and just in my memories of myself as a younger person, I feel like I've always been sort of an introvert, and when I would find a really amazing book that just captivated my attention and transported me to a different, like, universe, basically, I just had this incredible, like, joyful feeling throughout, like, all of the days while I was reading the book. And usually I would read the book really quickly and just move through it super fast, because it just felt good to do that, right? And you feel like you're sort of transported to a different reality. You feel like you're learning more things about your own life from characters maybe that you relate to, or you're looking at life differently, and it all feels very inspiring. And so that's kind of what this draw is already kind of starting to feel like for me when I look at this, is like, it's almost like that feeling of, oh man, I haven't read an amazing book in so long. It's been years since I read just the most amazing fiction book that just completely sucked me, and I didn't have any complaints about the plot or the characters at all. Like, I just was completely enamored with it. And that's a really beautiful feeling, and I feel like there's something about that coming through for you, Leo, whether it's actually a book that you're reading, or it's just that's the feeling that you get in your life, is like you're just turned on by something. Your energy is turned on, your passion is turned on, you're awake, you're excited. There's things that are kind of just bringing out that joyful side of you and making you feel very prosperous at the same time with the owl card. Because again, this owl is the accompaniment of the goddess Lakshmi, who brings blessings, good fortune, and abundance. So this is a time where you're going to feel really lucky in March. You're going to be feeling really blessed, and you're also going to be really tending to your own garden when it comes to what brings you joy in your life. And I think that that's super important. Don't get too kind of sucked up into work things this month. I want you to really prioritize having fun, because I feel like the fun that you have may in some kind of mysterious way end up informing your overall career path or your path to prosperity as well, because you do have the full moon in Virgo in your second house on March 9th, which can represent accomplishments and tying up loose ends when it comes to finances. So let's take a look at your cards and we'll get some more insight. So we have the King of Swords with the Tower. Wow. We've got the Hermit and the Moon. Six of Swords and the Six of Wands. Five of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. Really beautiful. So yeah, just like I was kind of saying before about like the Piscean energy of the first few weeks of March, we do see definitely a lot of that with the Moon card, obviously, and that's also around your the full moon in Virgo, which is in your second house, like I just said, and that's in the second week of March approximately. So we have the Moon card coming up approximately around the time we do have a full moon. So that this is showing me that astrology is actually going to be pretty important to you. There's going to be a pretty big impact on you with that full moon. And I think that it could come, like some of the energies could come in the area of either like I want to say your intellectual life, because it's the King of Swords, or in your practical like living situation and that side of your life, because we have the Tower here, which shows these people kind of jumping out of the building. And obviously this is a very symbolic image, but to me that lightning bolt striking the building really represents the actions of the universe kind of taking action in your life essentially, and you end on the Wheel of Fortune card. So you are dealing with universal energies this month. There is definitely a sense of divine energy that is possibly impacting you throughout the month, which you're going to be sensing. You're going to be feeling that, Leo. You're going to be like, okay, I can almost feel the hand of God in my life, but it's coming to you in ways that feel very synchronistic, and that you're actually maybe kind of startled at first, because obviously we have the Tower in the first week of March with the King of Swords. So there is a potential that you could be surprised by something in the first week of March. It may come from a King of Swords type of person, which would be maybe an air sign person in your life, could be male or female, possibly older than you or holding some kind of authoritative energy in your life. So perhaps a manager or a parental figure, or someone that you're friends with who's older than you, who drops kind of a bomb on you. And it may not even be about you, Leo. It may not even be about you, but you just, for some reason, it affects you in some way. Sometimes that tends to happen. Like, we don't necessarily expect things that other people have going on in their life to affect us, even especially when it's not somebody that we're super, super close to. But what we can realize in those situations where, let's say, your neighbor, I'm not saying this is it, but like, let's say your neighbor or a sibling that you're not really that close with, or a cousin that you're not really that close with, is going through like a really big change in their life. Just because you don't live with that person and you don't normally interact with them doesn't mean that hearing the news that they're going through some kind of major upheaval, or hearing the news that they're going through some kind of big shift, that still may almost kind of surprise you and almost affect you. And I'm not saying it's negative at all. It's just, I think it's really natural that sometimes we don't realize that we look at other people around us, especially if they've always behaved in a particular way or they always have had a particular type of life. If they go through a big change, to us, it can trigger almost this new awareness that we've made that person almost into a symbol or a fixture in our life. Like, that's just something that we may have done unconsciously, where we think, oh, you know, Uncle so-and-so is just that type of way, or, you know, my sister who I'm, you know, not very close with is just, you know, she's always been this type of person. Then they go through a big shift. You might almost start questioning things in your own life, but it's not because you're being negatively impacted. It's just because something that has always been a fixture, something that's always been the same, is different. So it reminds you that there is this great potential for change. And it could not even necessarily be a bad thing. You know, this is a general reading, and the Tower could be saying this person goes through a dramatic, you know, life change where maybe their fortune, you know, increases tenfold, or they go through some kind of other huge shift. Maybe they're divorcing, but it's like a good thing because the marriage was awful. Whatever it is, it may or may not relate to you specifically, Leo. And as I'm looking at this, I think that for some of you, it is something that relates to you. But you are moving with it. You're moving with the energy. So whether this is kind of a surprise or something unusual coming from an authoritative person in your life or an air sign person in your life, or this is just some kind of change, like maybe even like getting the notice that you are going to move or something like that could be going on with those cards. So whatever it is, it's something that does make sense when you think about it, because it's the King of Swords, right, as the generator of this energy, or at least the way that it comes to you is through the King of Swords. So it makes logical sense, but it still might kind of throw you for a loop at first. So I don't want you to be thrown off by that, though. I want you to just, you know, whatever these changes are that are going through your life, like kind of almost like a breeze, like moving through your life, by the second week of March, your energy is definitely going to turn inward. And this is an important time for your own like personalized decision-making process, because you have the Hermit, which is card 9, and the Moon, which is card 18. 1 and 8 for 18 is 9. So these cards essentially have like a very strong linkage with them, and they also represent the axis of Virgo and Pisces in the zodiac. So because the Moon card is ruled by Pisces and the Hermit is ruled by Virgo. So one thing that I want to say with the Virgoan kind of Hermit energy, while we have this full moon in Virgo on March 9th, which is again so kind of crazy spooky that we get these cards coming up for that week, right? But I love tarot. That's just the magic of cards. This is really saying that you're going to be looking at what you do in your life that's for you, and what you do in your life that you do for others. And I think that you're going to get clarity on that, because the second house is also a house of possessions and what we own, and kind of looking at a very practical perspective of life. And the Hermit and the sign of Virgo is also the sign of like service to others, and being maybe responsible for more than just yourself. Whereas the Moon and the theme of Pisces, as a broad, I'm painting here in broad strokes, but the Moon card and the theme of Pisces is more about the private, inner, personal journeys that we go on. Okay? The Moon is, and the sign of Pisces are about our individual experience that we can't necessarily always share with other people, and we definitely can't go through those experiences for other people. This is very private. So it's like the difference between, you know, what you do in your outer life that's for others and what you allow yourself to experience on an inner level. So there's going to be some realizations about that, perhaps also related to the theme of giving and receiving in your life, and what you get out of what you do, and how deep you allow yourself to go with your life and with yourself. By the third week of March, we have the Six of Swords and the Six of Wands. And sixes are all about kind of picking up the pieces, reassessing after the fives. The fives are more like the difficult numbers in tarot. So when you have two sixes coming up, it's showing a refinement or a harmonization of your own energy after having faced some kind of thing that maybe threw you for a loop, or something that was maybe giving you pause and that you were sort of needing to process internally. What we see by the third week of March is that actually your energy is moving very smoothly. You're actually feeling victorious. You know, I feel like maybe at the beginning of that third week of March, you're starting out a little slower because the Six of Swords came up first. But then by the end of that third week, you are just riding, you know, you're riding high. You're really excited. You're feeling blessed. You're feeling strong again. You're feeling on top of your game. So you're really adaptive this month, Leo. I feel like you're really adapting to new changes. By the third week of March, we have the Five of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. So this potentially for you at the end of March is marking the onset of a very, I want to say, potentially lucrative period of your life, potentially some of the best gains that you can make, but you're also going to have to really like roll up your sleeves and get into the thick of it and sort things out. So there are a lot of opportunities coming to you at the end of the month and into April, which makes sense because you also have the sun moving into Aries, you know, on March 19th. We have the energy definitely shifting as well as Saturn moves into Aquarius. We have a lot that's going on that I think is going to uplift you, but also challenge you. Like it's going to uplift you, but also bring in this sense of almost, I want to say that like you're going to be able to treat life like a game, sort of, Leo. So it's a challenge, but if you approach it almost like as if you're playing a video game or something, I think that you can see how much joy you can get from seeing those challenges and just knocking them out left and right. There's something about a groove that you can get into with this, but there is going to be the need for focus and organization, so don't forget that. And what you got from Bob Ross, which I freaking love this message for you guys, is go out on a limb. That's where all the fruit is. Go out on a limb. That's where all the fruit is. I love it. And I think it's such a beautiful way to describe these energies that I was just saying, because I was saying, remember, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like a lot of potential and a lot of opportunity for you. But with the Five of Wands, you are going to have to, you know, move up to a new level of experience. Like going back to the video game metaphor, you're going to have to play on a new level. You're going to break through to the next level of the game. And so there's going to be new challenges in that new level. You may not feel like you're quite as, you know, excellent at this new level, at this new game, because you're also making new connections with the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Wands. You're playing at a different level here, Leo. So you're going to be expanded. You're going to be encountering new people, new themes, new issues and challenges. But I encourage you to see those for like as a game that you can enjoy kind of getting better at handling it, rather than seeing it as like a deterrent from doing anything, because I think you can actually have a lot of fun with this as well, because you also have the Six of Wands here, and the Six of Wands is actually the Jupiter in Leo card. So that's another really succinct and beautiful analysis of this reading for you, is that you know, with this fortuitous energy, you know, symbolically of Jupiter in your sign, which is what this card is ruled by, it's Jupiter in Leo. You're gonna also have, you know, the Jupiterian energy with the Wheel of Fortune card as well. Jupiter is also the traditional ruler of Pisces, so you could say that Jupiter rules the Moon card if you use traditional rulerships, which is what I use primarily. So there is a lot of Jupiter energy, which is about expansion and growth and finding your groove and being your own kind of guru as well, not needing to look outside of yourself for what whatever guidance or whatever encouragement or whatever validation would kind of help you move into these energies with grace for yourself. Like, I think you can do that for you, Leo. And that's bringing me back to the meditation message as well, about not being worried about being the black sheep, you know, in the family or in the workplace or in the friend group. If you're not drinking anymore, for example, if you stop drinking, or if you stop doing something that all your friends do or that everybody at work does, like, you don't have to worry about that. Don't sweat it, Leo, because whatever door you close for yourself, you're opening up tons of new doors, you know, and that's just a natural occurrence. So I want you to just really like trust and honor your own choices. Don't worry if they make you feel weird or different. This is about you, and this is about your joy in your life. Okay, Leo, thank you so much for watching. I hope this reading has been beneficial to you. If you enjoyed it, you can leave me a little comment below saying that you loved the reading or that you felt something about the messages. I would love to hear from you guys. I always love hearing from you. You can also just leave me a little star emoji if you want, or just write stars. In the comments. That really helps my channel. Any comments, any interaction on these videos really helps to boost my channel's algorithm, which is really helpful. As a creator, I put a lot of time and energy into these videos, so little things that you guys do to kind of boost the strength of my channel and also to show me that you're engaging with my content is literally everything to me. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here, sending you tons of love, Leo. Thank you for being with me on this journey. I wish you a very amazing, lucky, and fortunate and blessed month in March, but I don't think you're going to need that from me, because looking at this is going to be an amazing month for you. So have fun, enjoy, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.